I hope my husband will be the last person you ever murdered in your life.
Right now, a family demands justice as a homicide suspect makes her initial appearance in court.
Plus, a troubling trend as new statistics show infant mortality rates among babies of color continue to rise. That and more right now at 10.
What I am going through right now, and no one in your family deserves the pain I am going through, but I believe you were not meant to be in this world.
It was an emotional day in Dane County Court today as we heard from the family of a Middleton murder victim. On Monday, 34-year-old Kasu Samba, who was an employee at MSI Auto Sales in Middleton, was shot and killed while on the job.
Police say the shooting happened following a dispute over a vehicle that had recently been leased from the company. Today, the judge set a $1 million cash bond for the suspect, 23-year-old Jakira Anderson. She's charged with first-degree intentional homicide by use of a dangerous weapon. News 3 Now's Braden Ross has more from today's emotional hearing.
That's right. In court today, we learned a lot more about what exactly happened in that dealership, and we heard from those most impacted by Samba's death.
You didn't only kill my husband, you murdered me too.
A heartbroken wife speaks in Dane County Court.
He was the only one I had, and here I am right now. All I have is my unborn child.
Remembering her husband, Kausu Samba, shot dead at 34. The woman accused of shooting and killing him at a Middleton car dealership is charged with first-degree homicide.
This defendant, as the complaint shows, is alleged to have shot someone essentially at point-blank range in the chest over what I think even generously to her could be considered a minor customer service dispute at an auto dealership.
Court records allege Jakira Anderson went to the dealership Monday afternoon to complain about a car she had leased from them. She told officers she got in an argument with Samba, who worked at the dealership. She says Samba started trying to push her out of the store. That's when police say she shot him. According to court documents, Anderson told police, quote, "I wasn't trying to kill him, just scare away, and I didn't think I was going to hit him."
The entire incident from start to finish was captured on video. There's going to be no doubt about what happened at trial and that she didn't, in fact, pull the trigger of that gun and shoot this person.
The shooting has left Madison's Gambian and Islamic communities grieving the loss of a man they say was kind, family-oriented, and brilliant. A family member telling us in a statement he had helped many young people in Madison. And his soccer club in Milwaukee commemorating him with this post, saying his positive vibes made their team better on and off the field.
And in court today, the judge noted more than 30 people had showed up virtually to listen. A preliminary hearing in this case has been set for next Friday. We'll keep you updated on the latest developments online at channel3000.com and right here on News 3 Now.
Braden, thank you. Developing tonight in Denver, police are still searching for a student who shot and wounded 2 faculty members at a high school this morning. The suspect has been identified as a 17-year-old. So far, he has not been caught. In an update from first responders, they say one of the faculty members is in stable condition and the other is in critical condition. This incident is the 18th shooting this year at an elementary or secondary school in the U.S. Around Wisconsin, Wausau police say they got a call about multiple people being shot in a bathroom at the city's East High School. When police arrived, they confirmed there was no known threats of an active shooter. Regardless if the call was real or fake, first responders say they had to react as if it was a real threat.
Well, next at 10, taking a look over downtown Madison. The next day or so is expected to be quiet, but there is a bit of uncertainty later on in the week. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti explains that in our first warn forecast. Gary?
Brady, we are expecting a little bit of light snow overnight mixed in with rain. That shouldn't amount to too much, but it's Friday night and Saturday that do bear some watching. Let's start out by taking a look at the time-lapse from the WISC-TV Skycam. Lots of clouds, fog, and drizzle this morning, and then the clouds remain through the day. Very little in the way of sunshine, but temperatures were on the mild side. On Doppler track, some light snow showers showing up over central Wisconsin Madison, but a lot of that not reaching the ground. Farther to the south, you can see some showers and thunderstorms over parts of southeastern Iowa and western Illinois, and some snow out to the west across Iowa. As we take a look at high-resolution radar, notice our temperatures still in the 40s through most areas, but it is turning colder to the north and to the west. And 6-hour future track radar shows rain and snow showers moving on through later on tonight into early tomorrow morning. Snowfall amounts will probably be less than an inch in any areas that do get any kind of accumulation. This after high temperatures today hit 50 in Janesville, 49 Madison, and 54 in Boswell. Right now, temperatures still in the 40s through much of southern Wisconsin, although it is turning colder north and west of Dane County. Temperatures in Dane County, 43 in Verona, 42 right now in Madison. And as we look at our forecast overnight, look for a low of about 32 degrees with rain and snow showers. Later on, I'll take a look at the potential for snow accumulations as we head into Friday night and Saturday.
Next tonight, more than 5,000 people in Madison have already voted in the upcoming April 4th election. In an update today, the City of Madison Clerk's office said more than 3,800 of the 25,000 absentee ballots issued have been returned. In addition, a total of 1,300 people have already voted in-person absentee as well. In-person absentee voting just opened yesterday. New tonight, state Republicans passed a resolution calling on Governor Tony Evers to hold a special election to fill the Secretary of State's office. This comes after the abrupt resignation from Doug LaFollette and the governor's appointment of former state treasurer Sarah Godlewski to the position. State law does not require a governor to call the special election, and he says he has no intentions of calling one.
The CEO of Norfolk Southern returned to Capitol Hill to face more questions on the railroad's safety record. Residents in East Palestine, Ohio, continue to deal with the fallout from last month's fiery derailment that has put the focus on how dangerous chemicals are transported. Misty Allison traveled from Ohio to describe the February night her community will never forget.
I could see a huge fireball from my driveway. My 7-year-old has asked me if he is going to die from living in his own home.
Since the toxic train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio senators have joined forces on a bipartisan Railway Safety Act. It's an effort to enforce tougher regulations. And tomorrow, TikTok's CEO will testify before the House Energy and Commerce Committee. CEO Shao Chu is expected to tell lawmakers the app's parent company, ByteDance, is not an agent of China. Now, he's trying to avert a government ban on TikTok, but lawmakers are concerned it poses a threat to national security.
Sources tell CBS News that the New York grand jury investigating former President Trump is nearly done with its work, but there is no timeline for any announcements. For now, it's a waiting game for Trump and various law enforcement agencies who are bracing for protest. The grand jury is looking into allegations Trump may have falsified records to hide campaign finance violations in connection with a 2016 payment to adult film star Stormy Daniels. Trump, who is running for president in 2024, says the entire investigation is politically motivated. In Ukraine today, a brazen and deliberate strike aimed at killing civilians. That's what Ukraine is calling a Russian attack in an apartment building in the southeastern part of the country as people were going about their lives. One person was killed. Dozens were hurt, including children. Searchers are looking for anyone who may be trapped. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky paid a surprise visit to troops on the front lines in the Donetsk region and handed out awards to the defenders of Bakhmut. Standing in a large warehouse at an undisclosed location, Zelensky said he is honored to be here today to thank and honor the troops. He also visited an area hospital meeting with wounded soldiers.
Well, today, Prince William made a rare unannounced trip to Poland. While there, he met with British and Polish troops stationed near the nation's border with Ukraine. He also met with Poland's defense minister and toured an accommodation center providing humanitarian relief. According to the government, there is an estimated 1.5 million Ukrainian refugees in Poland. New data out this month from national health leaders shows mortality rates for infants and new mothers have been on the rise for the last few years, including during the start of the COVID-19 pandemic.
As Arman Rahman finds, the discussion is shifting to communities already facing deficits in health and child care.
Eric and Charlotte, the American Academy of Pediatrics found the rate of sudden infant death syndrome in 2020 was highest among non-Hispanic black babies and nearly 3 times more than the death rate for non-Hispanic white babies. The immediate cause is still being studied, but a health expert I spoke with today says the racial disparities in our society are nothing new.
In some ways, this is not unexpected per se.
Maybe not unexpected, but still alarming. The rate of sudden infant death syndrome increased 15% from 2019 to 2020, moving from the 4th to the 3rd leading cause of newborn death and disproportionately affecting Black families.
It's not clearly clear that COVID was the factor in the spike in sudden infant deaths rates among Black babies.
The numbers were just as bleak for Black mothers. According to a recent CDC report, in 2021, the rate of pregnancy-related deaths of Black women was more than double the rate of white women.
And it seems that COVID may have played a role in some of the uptick in pregnancy-related deaths that we saw most recently. But it's not fully clear.
The study says it's possible the pandemic's extra stress on people of color with housing, food insecurity, education, and more could have contributed to maternal and infant mortality.
Yes, I found the speculation in the paper to be a little bit problematic.
But Tiffany Green, associate professor of obstetrics and gynecology at UW-Madison, takes issue with that portrayal.
Public health sometimes it treats Black people as dysfunctional rather than systems. And the reality is, there have been racial disparities in prenatal care for a long time. There have been racial disparities in food insecurity for a long time.
She says she'd rather the public shift its thinking from individuals to our deeply rooted systems.
Some groups don't have as much access to care. Well, why? How can we fix that? How can we make sure that everyone has access to postpartum supports and that families are not on their own?
Wisconsin has one of the highest Black infant mortality rates in the country and has been identified as the only state in the country where the life expectancy gap is growing between white and Black women. Brady and Charlotte.
Armand, thank you. Some incredible new video tonight of security guards stopping an armed man at a strip club in Florida. Tampa police released this security footage from Sunday. You can see a man trying to walk into the club wearing a red and black devil mask and carrying a firearm. That's when a security guard grabs the weapon. The two fought as other security guards jumped in and subdued him. 3 security guards suffered minor injuries from the struggle, but no one was hurt inside the establishment. And take a look at this. More shocking video tonight. A New Jersey accident scene went from bad to worse when a semi-truck came barreling through. State police were investigating an earlier crash on a highway when the huge tractor trailer plowed through the scene, totaling 3 patrol cars and damaging an ambulance. Amazingly, no serious injuries were reported. The truck driver was issued a summons for careless driving.
The CDC says 2 more deaths have been linked to a rare bacteria found in recalled eye drops, bringing the total number of deaths to 3. There have also been cases of vision loss and surgical removal of eyeballs. Global Pharma Healthcare's artificial tears lubricant eye drops were first recalled in February. The rare strain of drug-resistant bacteria found in the drops had never before been reported in the U.S. And in more local news tonight, workers at the Starbucks on the Capitol Square are striking today. It's part of a national effort involving more than 100 Starbucks stores. The work stoppage was scheduled just 1 day before the company's annual shareholders meeting. Starbucks workers are fighting for their right to unionize. Still ahead at 10, see which countries made the top of the list in the annual World Happiness Report.
Plus, hear from the chair of the Federal Reserve as interest rates are again going up. Stay with us.
At Stanton Optical, independent eye doctors are available for eye exams whenever you need one. You should have seen me before I got mine. You're so quiet. Are you mad at me? Book your free same-day eye exam at Stanton Optical today.
There are so many things we take for granted. So many things. And along with them, sometimes we take the people who depend on them for their survival for granted too. The elderly, disabled, the veterans, people on limited and fixed incomes, or folks that lost jobs in sectors hardest hit during the pandemic. How can they survive with record increases in their basic cost of living? Some people just can't come back. And through no fault of their own, they're being left behind, struggling to keep their heat, water, and power on. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our heat, water, and power providers are working together to keep you safely in your home. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
You ain't This is Ford Truck Month, America. Time to get up and get into Ford F-150, part of F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 46 years straight. All amped up and ready for work or play. Plus, there's a great selection in stock and ready for delivery today. So get into Ford Truck Month and see what a built Ford Tough truck can do for you. Choose FlexBuy on F-150 and get 0.9% APR financing for 66 months plus 1,000 FlexBuy, 1,000 Ford credit cash, and 500 accessories cash.
There were severe health complications with my baby when I was pregnant. We made the decision to have an abortion so our daughter wouldn't suffer. Dan Kelly doesn't believe that women should even have that freedom. On the Supreme Court, Dan Kelly will uphold the criminal ban on abortion. Someone you love might struggle with a pregnancy like I did. And that's why we can't have an extremist like Dan Kelly on the Supreme Court.
Stanton Optical is the best value in eye care. We did the math, people. For $79, you get all this. That costs over $400 at LensCrafters, over $200 at Walmart, and over $150 at America's Best. When it comes to value, Stanton Optical is the top bird.
Yellow Jacket star Melanie Linsky is having a moment. How are you taking it all in?
I think I'm kind of floating through.
And Brooklyn Peps Beckham shares his wedded bliss.
Beautiful.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
We are committed to restoring price stability, and all of the evidence says that the public has confidence that we will do so, that we'll bring inflation down to 2% over time.
Welcome back. The Federal Reserve today announced it is raising interest rates by 1/4 percentage point to combat inflation. With the recent upheaval in the banking system, Fed Chair Jerome Powell said the Fed considered leaving rates unchanged, but settled on a lower rate increase. The Federal Aviation Administration is calling on airlines to address several recent close calls on or near runways. The FAA has released an aviation safety call to action. The new bulletin comes a week after an emergency FAA safety summit, which brought together regulators and industry groups after multiple high-profile runway incursions at major U.S. airports since the start of this year.
Next tonight, the concept of a 4-day work week is catching on, with researchers revealing the health benefits of spending fewer hours on the clock. A recent report by the University of Cambridge found 71% of employees felt less burnout, a 39% decline in stress, and a 65% reduction in sick days. 56 of the 61 British companies that participated in the study are hooked on the 4-day concept. And you know what? They say they will not be returning to the 5-day work week. And check this out, the annual World Happiness Report listing the happiest countries. For the 6th year in a row, Finland is on the top of the list. More Nordic countries take up the top spots, with Denmark and Iceland in 2nd and 3rd place. And if you're wondering how we fared, well, drum roll, the United States came in at 15th. We're waiting for that 4-day work week.
I know. I think that will make a difference. All right, here's Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti with a look at our forecast.
Maybe the weather has something to do with it.
Waiting for spring, too.
That's true.
Yeah, you know, as we get into spring, though, we get into severe weather season. And I'm happy to announce that our Dark Skies Severe Weather Seminar is back. We've been off the last, well, actually since 2019, thanks to COVID. We had to cancel at the last minute in 2020, right as the COVID outbreak started. But it'll be at Madison College again. It'll be Saturday from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m., open to the public, and admission is free. We'll have some interesting presentations on how to set up your family's severe weather safety plan. This is put on by the Midwest Severe Storms Tracking and Response Center. So we look to see you there. I'll be there all day on Saturday. Hopefully we won't have too much snow on the ground by then. Tonight, just some very light snow up in the northern portion of our viewing area, not really reaching the ground. You see visibilities right now right around 10 miles, so that indicates maybe just a few flakes, if anything, reaching the ground. But notice temperatures are starting to drop off to our north and west. Madison still at 42, but La Crosse down to 35, and Black River Falls at 33. And as those temperatures drop, and the next batch of precipitations develops to our south and to our west, in fact, even some thunderstorms over parts of western Illinois, some of that moisture will work its way northward, and we'll see a mixture of rain and snow showers after midnight. 6-hour future track radar shows that precipitation coming in, but it shouldn't amount to very much. There'll probably be just a narrow band of perhaps less than an inch of snow accumulation. 3 things you need to know in the forecast, though. The rain and snow showers overnight, again, not amounting to very much, but chilly conditions from much of next week through this week and most of next week, and then some snow from Friday night into Saturday. This is what Future Track is showing beginning Friday evening. Rain coming up from the south and then quickly changing over to snow as temperatures drop. But notice the bulk of the precipitation from Madison on toward the south and east. The farther north and west you go, the lesser the chances that you'll see any snow at all. Future Track, one of the computer models, showing as much as 8 to 10 inches over southeastern Wisconsin. But look at Madison, less than an inch and probably nothing north and west of Dane County. European computer model, a little farther to the north with the potential for several inches of snow accumulation here. And also, you can see the potential for more accumulation from one of the other computer models. So this is kind of what we're thinking right now. At this point, we're probably thinking somewhere in the neighborhood of about 1 to 3 inches south and east of Madison, and heavier amounts as you head toward Milwaukee and Racine and Kenosha. Look for some rain and snow showers early tomorrow morning. Then it'll be colder with some sunshine in the afternoon with a high of 42. Planning your night, again, those rain and snow showers coming in overnight, but temperatures will be right around freezing. That should limit the snowfall potential as far as snowfall amounts, less than an inch in a narrow band where the snow does even stick to the ground. But again, Friday night into Saturday, southeastern Wisconsin could be hit. We'll have to see whether or not the snow area moves farther to the north. First warn 7 to 10 day forecast. Temperatures stay chilly through next week. Highs only in the 40s. We should be up around 50. Some periodic rain and snow shower chances, but right now doesn't look like anything will stick to the ground for those.
And coming up in sports, Bucks make it look easy against the Spurs. How Giannis and the Deer got it done. That's next on News 3 Now.
3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Why are there 2 extra seats? I know, Uncle Dane and his giant beard.
The Volkswagen Atlas with best-in-class third-row legroom. Visit your local Volkswagen dealer for 4.9% APR financing for 72 months on a new 2023 Atlas or Atlas Cross Sport.
She locked him in his room, starved her son to death. The 16-year-old boy weighed only 42 pounds when he died. She could have got 25 years, but she got lucky. Judge Janet Protasewicz set her free. No time in prison. He strangled and raped his 79-year-old aunt. He faced 25 years, but he got lucky too. Protasewicz let him off with only 5. Tell Judge Protasewicz this is not justice. Stop protecting criminals.
Good news. This just in. Your Ford dealers have fresh shipments of their award-winning SUV lineup in stock and ready for you to drive home today. Get your hands on a new Ford, the #1 brand in SUV owner loyalty, including Bronco Sport with standard GOAT modes and Explorer, America's all-time best-selling SUV. And now, here's more good news. Now get a 2022 Explorer with 0% APR financing for 36 months, only at your Wisconsin and UP Ford dealers.
To everyone who believes in tradition, come enjoy a few of ours from Wisconsin.
People in Wisconsin love a good fish fry.
Really love. And we love sharing it with guests everywhere.
At Culver's, we still batter our North Atlantic cod by hand to order.
And we cook it to a crispy, golden perfection just for you.
For you.
For you. So it's crispy outside, flaky inside. Let us take care of you.
With some homegrown traditions we were raised on.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Hi, I'm Gary Canulti, and I'm inviting you on a holiday vacations tour. Join me as we explore classic Italy, October 7th through the 15th. Discover Tuscany's charming countryside, Venice's grand waterways, and the magnificent art of Florence. We'll also spend time in the ancient city of Rome, visiting historical landmarks such as the Colosseum and the Sistine Chapel. Visit holidayvacations.com, keyword WISC, for more information and to watch a travel show. Or call 888-557-1020 for a free brochure.
There are so many things we take for granted, and along with them, sometimes we take the people who depend on them for granted too. How can they survive with record increases in their basic cost of living, and through no fault of their own, they're being left behind? If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy and water providers are working together to keep you safely in your home. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
After I was robbed and my girlfriend was beat up, Janet Protasewicz was the prosecutor that went after those criminals. Those fools accused were on a violent crime spree. Janet prosecuted them case after case and brought those criminals to justice. I saw her work up close. She's compassionate, she's fair, and she believes in public safety. On the Supreme Court, I know she'll fight for you because she fought for me. Janet cares about us.
Why are there 2 extra seats? I know, Uncle Dane and his giant beard.
The Volkswagen Atlas with best-in-class third-row legroom. Visit your local Volkswagen dealer for 4.9% APR financing for 72 months on a new 2023 Atlas or Atlas Cross Sport.
After rallying in the second half and hitting a clutch 3 with under a minute to play, the Wisconsin men's basketball team survived and advanced to move on to play, in Greg Gard's words, another 40 minutes together. And that's kind of been this team's theme, win or lose. Up or down, the Badgers are going to continue to fight. And Tuesday night's win was just another example of this group's toughness.
Just really proud of this group. I mean, it's not been perfect. It's not been pretty at times, but one thing that can never be denied is their perseverance and their unwillingness to quit. I mean, there's no give in this group, no flinching, no matter what the score is. And I think we've been in so many of these games this year that their willpower to continue to battle possession by possession has served them well.
So the Badgers are headed to Vegas for the Final Four of the NIT. Wisconsin will face North Texas on Tuesday. If they win, they'll face the winner of UAB and Utah Valley for a NIT championship. Bucks hosting the Spurs, and San Antonio really isn't very good at basketball this season. Case in point, Giannis only needed 24 minutes to get a double-double. The Greek Freak finished with 31 points and 14 rebounds. Chris Middleton was also efficient. Here's 2 of his 19. Middleton also dished out 10 assists. The Bucks win by 36. Johnny Davis getting some run with the Wizards tonight. The former Badger scored 7 points, but none prettier than that reverse layup. Davis looking like he was back at the Kohl Center on that play. He also grabbed 3 boards and had a steal in 23 minutes. Luke Fickell admitted on Monday that he's a high-energy guy, but he also said that his energy doesn't compare to his strength and conditioning coaches. Brady Collins doesn't have an off switch. He's bringing the juice 24/7, and it was on display during the offseason for the workouts that the Badgers got to witness. And the best part for them, his energy and intensity are contagious.
This has been setting the standard of, what we need to do to become a great team, not just a good team. So I just really like the energy that he brings and the intensity and also the attention to detail.
Dude, it's crazy. I feel like that's the best way to explain it. Crazy, but crazy good. He pushes to like a different standard, a higher level every day. Doesn't accept anything average, and I think that's what, as a program, we need it.
We're back after this.
Hey, lady, when is the baby coming?
Very, very soon.
Dad, what about yours?
You're gonna... Yeah, okay, well...
This is how legends are made.
Chevy Silverado and new Silverado HD. Choose your own path with the #1 best-selling retail full-size pickup and see where it takes you. Find new roads. It's Chevy truck season. Get 0% financing plus. Make no monthly payments for 90 days on all Silverado 1500 pickups. And current Chevy owners get $2,500 cash allowance on this Silverado with a turbo high-output engine. Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in Wisconsin.
Habitat Restore is full of great finds at great prices for a great cause. With a unique inventory of high-quality, low-cost goods, you can save money and feel good about your purchase. Shop Restore Dane County today.
There were severe health complications with my baby when I was pregnant. We made the decision to have an abortion so our daughter wouldn't suffer. Dan Kelly doesn't believe that women should even have that freedom. On the Supreme Court, Dan Kelly will uphold the criminal ban on abortion. Someone you love might struggle with a pregnancy like I did. And that's why we can't have an extremist like Dan Kelly on the Supreme Court.
Legends in Concert share tribute artist Lisa McClowry's live on stage. Presented by the Friends of Middleton Performing Arts Center. April 1st. Tickets available now.
Come to Slumberland and get 20% off our beautiful new furniture and decor during our Spring Spruce Up event. We've got fresh new looks, like sleek new upholstery for your living area, plus extra discounts on recliners, patios, Sealy mattresses, and sectionals, including our new super versatile modular sectional. Get an extra 20% off Slumberland low prices during our Spring Spruce Up event right now at Slumberland Furniture. And check out our easy new mattress rating system to get you in your perfect bed.
Make a move in the most electrifying Honda vehicles yet. Like the CR-V and Accord, with available hybrid powertrains designed for more responsive performance and more advanced tech. When you drive a Honda, you're driving with the 2022 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value brand. Get moving and find the Honda for you. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
PB&J?
PB before we go.
P before we go.
P before we go.
See you tomorrow?
Yeah.
A call for action over a healthcare horror story, Thursday at 5:30.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Finally tonight, the cherry blossom trees in Washington, D.C. are nearing their full bloom as we get spring underway here. The National Park Service announced peak bloom for the trees would be today through the 25th. The cherry blossom trees were given as a gift from the mayor of Tokyo 111 years ago.
Okay, so after we go to Vegas, we can go to D.C.
You know, I was there for the cherry blossoms back in 2018 on one of our holiday vacations trips, and they were blooming. It was like the end of the first week of April. So you can tell just, you know, in 4 years how soon those blossoms are coming out now, and it was just beautiful. Tonight, some flurries up in the northern portions of our viewing area, probably not reaching the ground, but 6-hour future track radar shows rain and snow shower chances.
Hey, thanks everyone.
Do something good, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.